my goodness, how are you? How is everyone? How is your day? Today we've come live at this time. Yesterday we were not able to come live. Today we said no. By all means, we have to be live today. Yes, so how is everyone? You're most welcome. Today we are going to make a princess dark dress, and let's see what we need. I need this ruler. I need, oh my goodness, I need the measuring tape. I'll also need this whole, what it's called, what I don't know. So how is everyone? You're most welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes, today we are here again. Yeah, we always come here every day, but yesterday we did not come live. Yes, so today we are going to start by drafting our pattern. We are going to draft the back pattern and the front pattern separately. We usually draft together, but today we are not drafting together. Okay, so we are making everything different, the front alone and the back alone. Okay, so I'll start by marking my beginning point. I'll take away this pattern. It will be for the front. Okay, so we are going to start with the back. Let me use this side. As always, on the back we take away 2 inches. Yes, we take away 2 inches. These 2 inches will cover for the zipper allowance, and yeah, that's it, zipper allowance. So I'm going to take away the 2 inches from this pattern paper. I've begun with the back pattern. So this is the back of our dress. So I'm going to make a straight line here to mark as my beginning point. So from this is the shoulder line. So we are going to mark our vertical points. So from the shoulder to the bust, use your measurements. Mine is 10. Shoulder to under bust, mine is 13. Shoulder to waist, mine is 16. Shoulder to hip, mine is 25. Okay, so I'll also come this side and repeat the same, just to align the lines together. So I'm going to get my rule and place these lines as you can see me do. So I'm going to mark these lines. This is the bust line, under bust, waist, this is hip. Okay, so we are going to come on our shoulder line and measure our shoulder, divide by 2. So my shoulder is 15, divide by 2 is 7.5. I'll also come on the bust line and take the same measurement, shoulder to shoulder divide by 2, which is 7.5. I'll come on that point and come up by 2 inches to make a chest line. So this will be my chest line. So I'm going to come on this point and come down by 1 inch. That is for the shoulder slope. So I'll determine how I want my shoulder to be. Love Sack, how are you? Where are you watching from? Thank you for coming to the live. So we are going to come on our neckline and determine how we want our neckline to be. On our shoulder, and determine how we want our neckline to be. So I want my neckline in the front to be, what should it be? You can make a standard of 3 by 3, or you can make a neckline of your choice. Yes, so it's not a must that you must make it a certain way, but you can make it whichever way you want to make it. So I'm going to make my neckline 3 inches by, let me make it standard 3 by 3. No, this is the back. Remember, this is the back. How many should I make? Okay, let's make my neckline in the back. I'll make it, how many should I make it? Let me make it 4 by what? By, okay, let's take 9, or you can even take the bust line. Okay, so I'm going to make it V in the back. So I've taken 4 by 3 by 9 inches. You can take it even up to the bust line. That is completely your choice. Okay, so from here we are going to come down here to make what we call a shoulder slope, and from there we are going to connect to this line. After that, we are going to come here and divide this line by 2, and whatever we get, we mark it. After marking it, we are going to come in by, no, this is the back. Why? I'm always forgetting that this is the back. Sorry. So I'm going to come and take my bust on my chest line. I'll take my bust divide by 4. So my bust is 9.5. My bust divided by 4 is 9.5 plus 1 inch, which makes it 10.5. I'll take the same measurement on my bust line, 10.5. So after that, I'm going to come on my bust line and take my nipple to nipple measurement, or call it a bust span, divide it by 2. So mine is 7 divided by 2, 3.5. So I'll mark 3.5 across all these lines. So I'll bring my rule and connect these points. So after connecting, I'm going to take a dart. You can take a dart of 1 inch, 1.5 inches. Yeah. So I'll take a dart of 1 inch, okay, on the back. So I'm going to connect that 1 inch to the bust line and then to the hip line. Okay, so I'm going to come and take my waist measurement. My waist divided by 4 is 8.5. I add 1 inch. I'm going to add a 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I'll tell you later why. 1.5 inch sewing allowance. I would have added 1 inch, but I'm adding 1.5 only on the waistline. So I'll come here on my hip line and take my hip divide by 4 plus 1 inch, which is 12.25. So I'm going to join these points together. Okay, so when it comes to our neckline, you can use two methods to avoid gapping. You can come and measure this line. You can come measure this line and divide this line by 2 and get the center point. After getting the center point, you come in by 0.5. After coming in by 0.5, you will come and, let me use a pencil because I'm not going to use that method. Wait a minute. Where is my pencil? Let me use a red marker. I'm just showing you this. It's not what I'm going to use, but I'll just show you just for showing. Okay, so you can come with your, what is it, connect this line like this, and when you're cutting your neckline, you cut it in a slanted way like this, so that avoids gapping on your neckline. But another method, what I like most, is I take this line. I can take a line to this point anywhere. I can take it to here, anywhere, or in the center, whatever I want. So I'm going to come and connect this line here, the bust line, to the center line. Okay, and I'll take a dot of 0.5. I'm going to take a dot of 0.5. So I'll come and take a dot of 0.5, which is this. So by doing so, oh my goodness. So when you cover up here, so it's like you cover up here, and then you have to reconnect this point. Okay, you reconnect this point to this line. Okay, so it's like the line no longer passes here, so this is elongated like this, and yeah, so this line is coming from up here and going down back to this line. So whatever method you use, it still works. Okay, it still works. So this line now is short by 0.5 inches. I hope I'm understood. So this is our back pattern, but we are going to make the zipper allowance. So from here, I'm going to make this line more. I'm going to take 1 inch here to cover for the zip allowance, and come here and take 0.5 inch. Then come here on the hip line, I take 1.5 inch. And then come maybe like 5 inches from here, and again connect 1 inch. So why I put 0.5 inches here, because I made the 0.5, I replaced the 0.5. You remember I added the sewing allowance of 1.5. The 0.5 is also to cater for this dart. Okay, for the rest of the dart, for the rest of the zip allowance, sorry. Yeah, so it's going to be like this and like this, and then back like this. So you can take 1 inch from here and put it here. So when you bring the zip allowance, you connect it here to down, and replace this 1 inch you add here, this 1 inch you reduce here, you put it this side. It also works. Okay, even that system works. So whatever I decide to do, that is completely up to you. Okay, I hope you got me. That is up to you. So we are done with our back. This is a zip allowance. So you don't add allowance on this side. You might cut here, or you might just put in the dart. If you're going to use this line, you don't need to cut. Okay, if you're using this line, you don't need to cut this one. You don't need to cut through the pattern. You can just you can use a tracing wheel and trace out here, and that's it. So I'll not split my back pattern. I'll sew it as this. So you can split your pattern. That is completely up to you. You can split it here like this, or you can use this line here and leave it without splitting it. Then use, when you just trace out this dart. I hope I'm understood. Sorry. I forgot to connect this. Okay, so it's like this. I always add a 0.5 inch allowance here to join the shoulders together. Let me do this. I'll see how to cut. Maybe I'll split it. Okay. So another thing we are going to do, we are going to come here on the waistline. Remember, we put a dart of 1 inch. So I'm going to come on my waist 0.5. Moment, please. I'm going to come on this on my waist and take 0.5 down and take 0.5 up. So what we are avoiding here is we are avoiding gapping on the back. Remember, when you put a zipper, sometimes there is that bulging on the zipper. So we are eliminating it by doing this. We took a dart of 1 inch. I'm going to take 1 inch on this line, taking the center as the center point, the waistline as the center point. So I'm going to draw a dart going this side. Yeah, it said that, I think. It said that. So I'm going to do like this and like this. So this line has not changed, but this line is going to become shorter. And remember, always the back is shorter, always. The back is shorter. So yeah, you can take out 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Yeah, remember the back waist is not as long as the front waist. So we are going to close here. Where did I put the seam tape? So we are going to close this line. Okay, so we are going to close up this line, and since it's a 1-inch dart, the dart is not so straight, but it's not so bent. But if it was maybe 1.5-inch dart, we would have relocated the dart a bit, but I don't think it's necessary. But if the dart has bent in more than this is what you can do. You can change the dart, take it here like this, and take it from here like this, and do even the same for this. Okay, but the difference is not that much, so you can leave it as this. Okay, so now we are going to cut, and remember, on the curve points, you don't leave sharp points. You cut, not curving so much. So this is our back. We are done with it. I told you, it's up to you. You can split this part up to down and remove that, and make your dress like 6-piece, or you can leave it. Yeah, you can leave it like this and just sew the dart on your fabric. So that is your choice. Okay, so let's make the front pattern. So for the front pattern, as usual, we are going to make a starting point. So we don't need to leave the 2 inches like we left at the back, because we are cutting the front on fold. So we are taking our bust measurement. You can as well bring this. You can bring this and mark the lines where the lines are. You can just bring this and mark where the lines are, but since we relocated this, it will not work. So you come and take your bust measurement, which was 10, under bust 13, waist 16, hip 25. Come this side, do the same 10, 13, 16, 25. Okay, so we are going to take our neckline. For the neckline, I'll bring this. So this was the beginning point, and it was 4 inches. I hope they are 4 inches. Oh, how did it happen? Wait. This was... okay. So whatever I took on the front is what you take on the back. And for the front part, we are going to take 3 inches. So we shall make the neckline like this. And now we are going to take our shoulder, divide by 2. Shoulder is 15 divided by 2, 7.5. Come on this line. Come on this line, 7.5 inches. Come up by 2 inches to make a chest line. Here you come down by 1 inch to make a shoulder slope. So it's the same thing we did for the front, for the back. Okay, So we are going to come on this line, divide it by 2, and whatever we get, we are going to come in by 0.5 inches. Then we come here and divide your bust measurement by 4 plus 1 inch. So we are going to get this. So we are going to connect like this. So now we are going to get our bust, our nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. So mine is 3.5, 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. So divide it. So we are going to come on our waist. Let's mark shoulder line, bust, under bust, waist, hip. You're going to come on your waist measurement and take a dart of, you can take what? Let's take a dart of 2 inches. Okay, so that depends on how busty you are. If you're too busty, you can take a dart even of up to let's say 2.5 inches. If your bust is small, you can take 1.5. Okay, so it depends on how your bust is. So you note that. So I'm going to come here and connect this. So I'm going to make a dart. So I'm going to come here and come out by 0.5 inches. And also here I will come out by 0.5 inches. I'm going to connect this back here. There are a lot of ways to make a dart. I messed up here. I was supposed to begin 1 inch below. Oh my God. I was supposed to begin the dart here. I just realized. So there are a lot of ways to do this dart. So it's not one way. If you don't know another way, it's okay. Yeah, it's very okay. As long as you get the result you want. Okay, so this is not, it's eliminated. I'll make a red pen here, a red marker. This is not there anymore. So I'm going to come here on this line and measure it. So I have 9.5. 9.5 divided by 2 is what? 9.5. I'll divide 9.5 by 2. The line is here. So I'm just going to place it. So the center point of this is around here. So I'm going to get this curved rule, this one, and connect this to the bust point. So like that. And after, I'm going to come on this bust point, use a pencil here, use a pencil here, use a pencil here. I'll use a marker because you have to see, but it's accurate with a pencil. This mark is, you drop, it's almost 0.25. If you measure how big the mark is, it's almost 0.25. So you use a pencil to get the accurate measurement. So I'm going to take 0.5 and 0.5 on each side of the dart. So after taking it, I'll connect it back to the bust line. Okay, I'll make this line longer, and then I'll come again on this line and connect back to the dart. So to cover up for this base on the, remember now, if this is a dart, it means our chest, our armhole is shortened. So we have to replace this on this line. Okay, so I'm going to measure, this is 1 inch. I'll take it again on this line to balance it, and also I'll come out by 1 inch here and connect these points together. So we are no longer taking this, and we are no longer taking this. So this is a dart. So we are taking this line now. Another thing we are going to do now, we are going to come on the waist measurement and take our waist, divide by 4, which is 8.5. We are going to replace this dart, which is 2 inches, and add a sewing allowance of 1 inch. So we are going to make this line. I'll make this line and take it down. Okay. So another thing you can decide to do, you can decide to take this dart from here up to down, and when you're measuring, you take a dart of these inches. It can also work. You can decide to take this dart to down as 2 inches. I hope you're getting me. You can make a line here. You can make a line here to down. This is optional. Measure 2 inches here and connect this also. I said this is optional. You can cut it as it is, or you can do this. And when you do this, when you're measuring these points, you consider this as a dart and measure the right measurement. I hope you got me. I hope you got me. Okay, so I've finished making my measurement here. So I'm going to come on the bust line. My bust plus, this is what? It's almost 2 inches. Okay, I'll just take this line straight. So I'm using this new line, okay? I'm using the new line, and I'm taking it down to the waistline. Then I'm going to come here and measure my hip line. So if you're cutting, not this, if you're cutting using this line, this first one, you don't need to add a dart allowance. If you're considering this dart, you don't need to add a dart allowance. You just measure your hip, divide by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. If you're considering this dart, you're going to measure your hip plus 2 inches for the dart plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Do we do the latter? What do we do? Okay, let's do the first. Let's not take the dart. Let's leave this big dart. So we shall take our hip measurement is 11.25. I need the marker used in the first place. It's 11.25. 11.25 plus 1 inch, which is 12.25. So I'll connect this to this and then connect to down. So whatever works for you, do that. And if you're to take the red line, please don't get confused. If you're taking this red dart, what you do is you come here and measure your hip, which is 11.25 plus 2 inches, making it 13.25 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, making it 14.25. So if you're taking the red line, I'm showing you 2 ways how to do this. If you're taking the red line, you're going to do this. So if you cut one of these lines. If you're using the red line, you're going to cut here like this, bring the dart up like this. Or if you're using the blue line, you're going to cut here and here. I hope you got me. I hope you got me. So we are done for the front pattern. So I'll just bring this here. I just want to see. I told you when you're using markers, sometimes it's not as accurate. Why? Markers mark a big space. So I have to take my neckline again, just to match it up the front and the back. So my neckline will begin from here. So this is what we have for the front and for the back. So I don't know where I should cut. Should I cut the red or should I cut the black? What should I do? What should I do? Most times you cut the black. Oh my God. Okay, let me first finish this. Most times you cut the blue line. So let me make it different this time. And let me use the red line. Okay. Let me use the red. This time alone, I'll use the red line. So when we are cutting this center piece, we shall add a sewing allowance of 0 0.5. So we add a sewing allowance of 0.5. I told you, whenever I'm cutting, I add the 0.5 sewing allowance. Okay, so still on our back pattern. So this is how it is supposed to be. But one thing we are going to do again, we are going to okay. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to get a bust dart. Okay, this is our bust line. Remember, this is our chest line, this is our bust line. Usually the bust dart will take the difference between your back waist and your front waist. That is what we use for the bust dart. Okay, so I'm going to take a bust dart of 1.5 inches. So I'll come here on my bust line and take a dart of 1.5 inches. So that is the 1.5 inch. Then I'll come here and down. That's my bust dart, this shaded part. And now, when you're cutting your dress, you must make sure that it is balancing on this side. It must balance down, because if it does not balance, hey, it will be short on one side and long on the other side. So you must balance it well. You add that color when it's down there. So this is our bust dart. When you're cutting, you cover up for this cut space. Okay. Okay. So we have now our front and our back pieces. When you arrange this properly, you'll see that this part is shorter. This side alone is shorter. Here in the center, it remains the same, but on the edge, it is shorter by 1.5 inches. So let's do the cutting. I'll cut two pieces, the real fabric and the lining pieces. So I need this dress as long as it can be. So I'm going to do what? I need it long to my feet. And then I'll cut the sleeves and see what next. So if you don't want your dress to be tight, you have to put a slit. Yeah, you have to consider putting a slit, or make it in a mermaid shape down. It will help it to be wide a bit on the down part. So as I told you, let me extend this a bit. I need this dress as long as my feet length. The funny thing is that every time I make a long dress, I have to measure myself as if I got taller. As I got taller, oh my God. So I'll use 56 inches for the length of my dress. So I'm going to use 56. So I'm going to cut the lining piece and the real fabric together. So I'm using this luxury fabric. Hey, don't say, oh, what is she using, madam? I'm using this fabric. Yes. So I want to arrange everything right and cut the lining and the fabric together. So I'll try to change the texture of this fabric on. Okay, so I'm going to bring my fronty piece. This is the center piece. Remember, we are cutting this on fold. Okay. Make sure everything is in alignment because so I need 56 inches of this. So let's see where it stops. 56 from, this is 3 inches. Here is the 3 inches. I'm going to take the 56 mark. I hope it is enough. I just hope it can cover this 46 inches. Okay, so it can cover. Remember, when you're making, with your height, you have to add some 2 inches or 1 inch for sewing allowance. So always remember that. Sewing allowance on the, what is not sewing allowance? Hem. The hemming allowance. So I have to measure this. This is almost 2.5. So I'm going to mark it here. Almost 2.5, not 2.5, almost 2.5. So since the pattern is not as long as the I'll just get a rule and mark. Remember, this mark I can remove. Don't use marker on your dress. Yeah, there are some markers that you can wash or you can iron and they disappear, but make sure first. So for me, I use this because I just wipe this away. You see, it gets off quickly. So take note of that. Okay, now we are going to cut. So we are cutting the lining piece and the real fabric. We are using the same fabric for the lining piece. Is the same fabric for the. I don't leave sewing allowance on mine. If you want to leave sewing allowance on your, oh my goodness, I blundered. I don't leave a sewing allowance on my what is it called, armhole. Yeah, I don't leave. But if you want to leave for you, you can leave. You see what I did? I cut here. I was supposed to stop here. So you don't leave. I don't leave sewing allowance for my armholes. Yeah, whether I'm going to add sleeves or not, I don't. But it's up to you. If you like to add on yours, you can add. I'm measuring a 0.5 inch sewing allowance in the center, and I'm using my eyes. So if you don't know how to use your eyes to measure, don't try it at home. Just measure. Okay, so me, I just use my eyes. I hope I measured right. I hope my eyes did justice. Okay, so I just go down. Okay, so we are done with the center piece, the front, not the back, the front. We are done with the front. So now we are going to cut another part. So let's see what's next. This is the side front. You can separate this pattern as well if you want to. If you want to. I emphasize that. So do we separate it or do we leave it as it is? What do you suggest? What do you suggest? You can cut it or leave it. What do I do? Let me split it. Let me just split it and cut it differently. I have to mark something here. Watch out when you're dealing with this part because it has to be the same length. So this is 10 inches, okay? 10 inches. Here is 10 inches. So we have to go down by 46 inches from this point. I hope you get me. We have to go down on this point by 46 inches to make 56. If you've not understood me, I don't know how to explain better. I need to see that. I need to check that the down piece is also aligned in the right way so that I don't mess it up. Okay. So remember our full length is 56 inches. 56 inches. So from this line, the bust line, we have to go 46 inches. Why? Why do we have to go 46 inches? Is because the full length is 46 and we have begun is 56 and we have begun from here. So let me measure the 46 going down and we shall continue. If you have not understood me, you'll listen to me again and understand. You rewind and understand what I meant. So I'm taking 46 from the bust line. Okay. So from the bust line is 46. My full measurement is 56. Bust line is at the 10 inches mark. 10 plus 46 is 56. So I'll take 56. I'll take 46 here and add some small allowance. So this is enough. Yeah. So remember when you're cutting in, you add a sewing allowance. On the outer part, you don't add a sewing allowance. I hope we are together. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this measurement here. Remember, this is almost half pattern. And come and take that measurement. Yeah, this is what? 4.5. So no need for sewing allowance here. This is zip allowance. No need for more sewing allowance because we've already added it. We are going to put sewing allowance only on one side. That is the center point. So I'm going to measure the length of this side, which is 4.5 inches. Is it only me? Even if I measure something, I will feel as if I've not taken the right measurement. So I'll take it again and again. Oh my God. So I'll also add one. Okay. So let me first connect this. Okay. So remember this, you can just rub like this. Don't do that on your fabric. This is plastic bag. You can wipe it easily. So I'm pinning so that everything is in place before I cut. Yeah. So my lining pieces and everything is here. So when I'm cutting in the center, I'll add a 0.5 as I told you. I add a 0.5 which I measure using my beautiful eyes. Okay, I use my beautiful eyes to measure the 0.5. If you cannot use your beautiful eyes, then use a measuring tape. But for me, the eyes are enough. Okay. So on this line here, we are going to add a sewing allowance, a small one. Yeah. On this line, and then okay. So that is the center back. So we have 4 pieces of the center back, meaning 2 pieces for the main fabric, 2 pieces for the lining. Now we are bringing our side front. So for the side front, we are supposed to cut 4 pieces. 4 pieces. I don't want to repeat myself. Yeah. If this is enough to cover, I'll cut together. Okay. So I'm going to fold this into 2. Remember, we need for the lining pieces and for the... Okay. So I'll do this. checking how I can cut everything together. So I'll place this here. Remember, we don't need sewing allowance on this side. We don't need sewing allowance this side. So another thing I need to consider also, I'm going to consider the measurement. This is my shoulder, my center. Hey, what did I do? See what I did? I did not finish up cutting up this neckline. What is this? I mean, what is this? So I'm taking the measurement from here to here. This is how many? 4.5 inches. So 4.5 inches, 56 minus 4.5 inches is what I'm going to take. So I'll plus 2 inches. 56 minus 4.5 inches is what? 56 minus 4.5 inches is 51.5 plus 1.5 equals to 53 inches. So I'm going to use 53 inches from here to down. Okay. The 1.5 inch I've added is for covering up for the, remember we made a bust dart here. It's for covering up for the bust dart. And remember this piece starts from the halfway. So yeah, we are reducing the 4 inches. So I'm taking 53 for there for this measurement of the side front, and make sure everything is in order, because after pinning wrong you cut wrong equals to wrong results. Equals to wrong results. So yeah. So I'll just take this line down as it is. The alignment is not right a moment. Okay, so we are taking 53. I'll measure from up here to down to get the 53 inches. Okay, so I'm taking 53 inches, so it will be around here plus some sewing allowance. Okay. What I have to do next is to split. I'm going to split this by 2. Splitting this by 2. Remember, this is side front, it is not on fold. Okay, so we are going to cut. We're going to cut. Add some sewing allowance, remember. I always add a 0.5 sewing allowance, especially for the center pieces. Some mess up here. Some mess up here, so I have to go back, cut the excesses. If you don't pin right, the results are not guaranteed. Yeah, so right pinning gives you the right results. If you don't pin well, sometimes the results will not be the right results. So I have to pin here. Pin this side well. When I'm doing a princess dart, I don't leave a sewing allowance of 1 inch between, because sometimes sewing it out is difficult, and sometimes you might lose the dart in the name of sewing allowance. So if you leave too much sewing allowance on a princess dart, it might not come out as well as you expect it to come out. So when I'm making a princess dart, most times, even if I want to leave a big sewing allowance, I'll not do that, because some darts are small. It might get lost in that sewing allowance. That's it. I told you I don't leave darts. I don't leave allowance on the armhole. Yeah. So this sewing allowance is enough for me. If for you use more, then that's your choice. No problem. So also for this part we have 4 pieces. Yeah. Now we are going to the side back. This is the side back. Side back 56 inches. No compromise. It's 56. So remember, for this side we are not putting sewing allowance. So yeah. Please subscribe, my dears, if you're watching. Please subscribe. When we put up a new video, you'll be notified. Yes, so subscribe, please. So now we are going to count the 56. Count measure. The English is Englishing. We are going to measure 56 from here. So it could be somewhere here. Okay. So I'm getting a straight rule and taking it down to the mark. And I'll measure how wide this is. It's 9.25, something like that. 9. Okay. So I'm going to bring again it up. No need for sewing allowance here. But this side you need the sewing allowance. Okay. This side we need a 0.5 sewing allowance as always. If you're using 1 inch sewing allowance also, you use that. Okay. So we are done with the cutting. Now we are going to cut our sleeves. We are going to cut our sleeves. So I use this to cut my sleeves. I hope it's enough. Just hope. I don't think so. Is it enough? Really? Really? Let me check my bicep and see if it's really enough. Okay. Let me check. Let me try taking the sleeve from this side. Oh, I'm going to take it like this. So I'm taking 2 pieces because I need 2 pieces. My sleeve is going to be long, but a bit dramatic. So from here to here is what, 17? Okay, we shall deal with that. So I'm going to take a starting line. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm doing. Let me check with my chalk. Maybe it will be better with chalk. Okay, so this is my starting point. I'm going to go down by 4 inches for my sleeve cap, and go down by 8 inches for my bicep line, and the rest I'll just take this. Okay, so I'm going to come and measure I'm going to come here and measure 4 inches from this point. I'll measure 4, and on this 4-inch mark I'll come divide it by this, between this line, by 2. This is the center point. So I'm going to take my bicep measurement, divide by 2. So it's 15, which is 7.5. Okay, 7.5. I'll add 1.5 inch for sewing allowance. So I'll come here on my elbow measurement. I'll take on that line my elbow measurement, which is 11. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. 5.5 plus 1 inch is what? 5.5 plus 1 inch is 7. 1 plus 1.5 inch, not 1 inch. Yeah, plus 1.5 inch is 7.5 inches. So this is going to be a long sleeve. I'll just take straight to down. Yeah, I'll just take straight to down. So I'm going to come here and make my sleeve cap. You can do this. You can use your hand, or you can use this method. This is what I usually do. I make sure I pass through this point here like this, and then I do like this. When I reach that point, I turn this to this. So you can use even your free hand. Okay? You can use your hand. No problem. And I'm going to make a line here where I'll cut my sleeve. And for the sleeve also, I don't take sewing allowance. I don't. The sewing allowance I take is only for this line. So we have our sleeve here. Now, one extra thing, I want my sleeve to be very long, to the length of my dress. So it can fall down to the dress length. So I'm going to measure round my sleeve. This is the measurement I'm going to take. I'm going to take this measurement, this sleeve opening here. It is 14 inches. Okay. So I'm going to divide 14 by 4. 14 by 4, whatever I have is what I'm going to use. 14 by 4 is what? Simple mathematics, I don't know. The simple mathematics I don't know is what? 14 divided by 4, please help me. So I'm going to come and do like this. You see, I'm folding. So this is on fold already, and I'm folding in another time. So it makes it 4 layers. That's why I'm dividing the 14 by 4. Okay, I'm dividing 14 by 4. So 14 divided by 4, I'm going to use my measuring tape. 14 divided by 2 is 7, and 7 divided by 4 is 3.5. I think so. So 3.5 is what I'm going to use here. 3.5 is what I'll use here. So here I'm going to use 3.5. And since the whole plus the sewing allowance is 7 is 14, 3.5, you don't need to add sewing allowance because already that opening is with sewing allowance. So this is my opening, 3.5. So 3.5, I'm going to determine how long I want my sleeve to be from that point. So you can make it as long as you want, as long as it does not go to the ground when you're moving. So I'm going to make I'll use 26. I use the whole of it. Let me use the whole length is what? 30, 34. Want it to be too long? Okay, let's try. If it's long, we shall cut it. I'm going to use 34. 34 is here. I'm going to come marking 34, around 34, 34. So you're doing a circle. Yeah. In actual sense, you're making a circle. It's like you make a circle skirt. This is the same technique we use. So 34 here also. And 34 here. So I'm going to come joining these lines together. Okay, so I'm going to cut out. We are still doing the sleeve. This is still the sleeve, okay? So this is how my sleeve is going to be, but I'm going to shape it. Remember this side is, hey, wait a moment. Wait, I've done something stupid. Oh my God, I am supposed to cut here. Okay, I've cut. So this is how it is. Now I want this to be in a what? So this is like if it plays on this part to down, but I want it to be like high-low. You know high-low? Like high-low skirts. So it's what I'm going to do. Now, how do I make it what I want? So I want it to make it high-low. Yeah. So I've folded it in a bit like this, the way you see me doing. So I want to make it high-low and give it a drape. Okay. So you see how I'm folding it in. It's not in a uniform manner. So don't think I'm using a certain technique. No, I'm just folding like this. So now I'm going to come like this. I'm going to get this rule and draw a line. Still I'm going to draw a line coming from here, going down. Okay, so I might make it more uniform. Yeah, make it more uniform to give it a good flow. So sorry for that. I want it to curve a bit and curve well. Okay, let me use this. It doesn't need to be perfect. That is the excuse. It doesn't need to be perfect. Can you imagine such an excuse? So I'm just thinking, I've not done this before, but this is what I decided to do. I'm just thinking it works. I'm just praying it works, you people. Yeah? I'm just in prayer that it works. It works. If it doesn't work, I'm done. Okay. So here we are. This is it. It has not worked. Let's see the result. Oh my God. Look at the results. So I think I have to shape it better. Let me try to shape it better. Yeah. So let me try to do as I did. Do I even still remember what I did? The silly me did one part. The silly me did one part. The silly me did one part. It has to be 2 pieces. Which is okay. I'll do the second one. Anyway, I'll leave it like that. It's not that bad. Yeah. So I'll just leave it like that. So I even don't have to fold it. I don't need to fold it. I'll just place it here like this and cut. Okay. I'll just place it like this and cut. It's just cutting out. So let me try to shape it as I'm cutting the other part. A moment. Good. So let's finish up here and then see what to do next. So I'm trying to shape a bit, not too sharp. Okay, so we are done with both pieces, the front and the back. Here I'll shape more a bit. So this is our sleeve. Yeah, don't be there and asking yourself, what is she making? This is a sleeve. Okay, so just to show you how it is going to look like, just a glimpse. So I'm sure we are done with cutting all the pieces, but I have to do one thing more. So our sleeve is going to be like this and like this. So I hope you understand. I'll be back here to do the what? The sewing, but I'm going to so these are our sleeves. These are our sleeve parts. So my God, what happened? How did I cut? Oh my goodness. I cut only one piece for that. This is what? My God, side back. Oh my God, I hate this. I hate this side back. side back I did one piece. I have to repeat again to cut the side back. How did it even happen? I don't know. So I have one big important thing to do. I want to give another texture for one of the pieces, the outer piece. The lining piece, I'm going to do that, but for the outer piece, I have to give it texture. I hope this is the only part I messed up, because I'm not willing to do anything again. Okay. So as I told you, I have something to do on this before I do anything else. So I want to burn out these pieces. I'll use a leaf pattern. I'm going to use this thing you're seeing here. Isn't it charged? Okay. So I want to burn out What pattern do I use? I even don't have a pattern, but let me just okay. This is a long way. When will I finish this thing? We are going to see that we don't cut near this part, because we need the sewing to sew on that part. I'm not using any special technique. I'm just freehand. I hope you can see. Let me put it against some background. You can see how it is. Yeah. So that's how I'm doing, and I'm avoiding the what is it called? This part. What we left as our sewing allowance. So one thing I'm going to do to make this dress visible, I'm going to cut the inner part. I'll make it shorter. The inner dress, I'll make it a bit shorter so that you can see this effect, because if it's on a lining piece, you'll not see it very well, because it's all black. Okay, so no need to stress, just do your thing. You don't need pattern for this. I almost burnt this. It's a long journey. It's a long journey. Make sure you're using this, what is it called, soldering iron, in a properly ventilated place, because this is burning plastic. So I'm going to stop here. I'll come back while sewing. Yeah, I'll do the rest when I'm not on camera. Yeah. So I'll do the rest of camera. I hope it's nice. Let me close this first. I hope it's beautiful. So let's put it against the, you can see how it is. Let's assume this is the lining piece. I think it's beautiful. Let me put it against. Let me use what paper? Let me try against this. You can see how it comes out. Yeah, how it plays out. So I'm going to do this for all the pieces. 6 pieces. Are they 6? I'm going to do this for all the fabric pieces, and yeah, then I'll sew the dress together. When I'll be sewing, I'll come back and we shall do the sewing together. So thank you for watching. I'll stop here this live. I'll come later in the day, in the night, because it's already late, to finish up. So thank you for watching. In case you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when we put up a new video. Yes. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye.